Imagine upgrading your brain's processing speed, right? Like a 15-second scientifically proven biological hack that was also somehow handcrafted to align with the stars.
I mean, that sounds completely contradictory, but it's fascinating.
It really is. And, if you're sitting at your desk right now staring at a blinking cursor and wondering if a fourth espresso is going to help you finish your work or just like give you a panic attack,
Yeah.
you are exactly the target audience for what we're exploring today.
Oh, for sure. The classic afternoon caffeine dilemma.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is pulling from the promotional materials and the product documentation of something called Drops of Consciousness, or DOC for short.
Right, from Conscious Living Solutions. They're based in Bengaluru.
Yeah, Bengaluru. And our mission today is to really unpack how this product is trying to cure modern mental fatigue by colliding two completely opposite worlds.
It's the highly clinical, fast-acting world of modern biohacking meeting the ancient esoteric world of spiritual energy.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine upgrading your internet connection from dial-up to a fiber optic cable, right? But the fiber optic cable is somehow powered by the cosmos.
That is basically the literal premise of this product. They're claiming an instant mental reset, and they mean instant in just 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah. And the juxtaposition is really what makes this source material so compelling to read through. I mean, we live in a culture that just demands hyperproductivity at all times.
Oh, absolutely. Like you have to be perfectly on all the time.
Right. People are required to absolutely crush a 3.0 p.m. boardroom presentation, but there's also this rising, almost desperate demand to maintain total holistic zen for our stressed out nervous systems.
It's wild. People want to be relentless overachievers, but profoundly relaxed about it at the exact same time.
Exactly. We want the productivity of a machine, but, the aura of a monk.
The aura of a monk, I love that. So before we get into the whole cosmic energy aspect of these drops, we need to establish the baseline problem that Conscious Living Solutions is actually targeting here.
Right, the why behind the product.
Yeah. Their marketing explicitly calls out the modern professional's daily battle. It's that mental fatigue, right? That impenetrable afternoon brain fog where your concentration just straight up evaporates.
And they also highlight caffeine dependency, which is huge. That jittery, nervous energy that actually disrupts your workflow, plus just the general stress overwhelm of high-pressure situations.
They're mapping out a really highly specific yet universally understood pain point.
Oh, totally. It's that moment in the day when mental fog just isn't an option because you have a deadline, but biologically you are completely out of gas.
Right. And the scientific, mechanical solution they propose to this universal problem is a sublingual delivery system.
Right. So sublingual, meaning placed directly under the tongue.
Which feels a bit intense for an energy supplement, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But the protocol outlined in their documentation is incredibly precise. The user is instructed to take 4 to 5 drops, place them under the tongue, and hold them there for a full 60 seconds.
60 seconds feels as a long time when you're just sitting there. But the biological goal here is to bypass the digestive system entirely, right?
Exactly. First-pass metabolism is essentially the enemy of most oral supplements.
Okay, let's break down why the digestive system is something a supplement would even want to bypass in the first place.
Well, when you swallow a traditional capsule or pill, it enters the stomach and just gets hit with highly corrosive stomach acid.
Right, the body's natural defense mechanism.
Yeah. And from there, it passes into the intestines and gets routed straight to the liver. And the liver acts like a chemical checkpoint, aggressively breaking down foreign substances before they can even enter general circulation.
So it's basically doing its job too well.
Exactly. The Conscious Living Solutions documentation notes that because of this whole gauntlet, traditional pills only offer about 30% bioavailability.
30%, meaning you were losing 70% of the active ingredients you actually paid for.
Yep, just through your body's natural digestion mechanisms.
So taking a traditional pill is basically like taking a local train through the digestive system. It stops at every single station, it loses passengers along the way, and it just takes forever to reach the destination.
That is a highly accurate way to visualize the biology at play, yeah.
But sublingual delivery, on the other hand, is the express train straight into the bloodstream. It just skips all the traffic.
Exactly. The vascular network under the tongue, the mucous membrane there, is incredibly dense and sits very close to the surface.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, so by taking that express train and absorbing the liquid directly into the capillaries, the company claims a staggering 85 to 95% bioavailability rate.
That's a massive jump from 30%.
It really is. And because it enters the bloodstream so rapidly, the timeline they provide speeds up dramatically compared to traditional supplements,
Yeah, the documentation states that most users experience the initial effects within 15 to 30 seconds.
which is incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And then the peak effects hit within 2 to 3 minutes.
And that clarity and steady energy supposedly lasts for 3 to 4 hours.
It's a profound mechanical claim, honestly.
I am struggling to bridge a gap here, though.
What do you mean?
Well, if they have a genuinely effective 15-second sublingual delivery system, which, like you said, relies on solid, measurable biological science, what exactly are we putting on that express train?
Ah, the actual ingredients.
Yeah, the documentation repeatedly says the product is backed by science and uses research-based ingredients. But what is the actual cargo?
So the brand positions the physical contents as a clean, natural, and vegan-friendly alternative to what they label toxic boosters.
Toxic boosters being like energy drinks.
Exactly. They heavily emphasize eco-friendly, sustainably sourced components. The formulation is designed to provide this smooth, minty taste that freshens your breath without any of that underlying bitterness or artificial flavors.
So no weird chemical aftertaste.
Right. It's very much framed as the physical antithesis to those chemical-laden, neon-colored energy drinks that just lead to massive sugar crashes.
Okay, natural, minty, vegan, and highly bioavailable. That sounds like a premium, albeit fairly standard wellness supplement you might find at like a high-end grocery store.
It does sound like that at first glance.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Because the source material takes a massive, unexpected tonal pivot here.
Oh, it really does. It's kind of whiplash-inducing.
Seriously, we're driving along this clinical highway of sublingual absorption rates, mucous membranes, and bioavailability percentages. And suddenly we take an exit straight into a mystical ashram.
A very specific ashram, too.
Yes, the documentation explicitly states that these drops are enhanced with crystals, Reiki energy, and Lamafera symbols.
The shift in vocabulary is just jarring.
Lamafera, I mean, I've heard of Reiki, but what is Lamafera?
So Lamafera, for those unfamiliar, is a highly specific esoteric healing technique originating from the Himalayas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it involves the use of specific symbols to channel energy, and practitioners believe it actually removes negative emotional blocks and promotes deep physical healing.
And Reiki is the Japanese one, right?
Exactly. Reiki is a Japanese form of energy healing, operating on a similar principle of, channeling universal life force energy through the practitioner into an object or a person.
But wait, how do you infuse a physical minty liquid drop with a celestial alignment? Like, how does that actually work?
Well, that's the thing.
Because the website states in bold text that the manufacturing process isn't just about mixing ingredients in a sterile lab. These drops are handcrafted monthly during potent celestial alignments.
Right.
Do they explain the actual mechanism of capturing that energy, or is it just purely a metaphysical claim?
The mechanism they propose is rooted entirely in esoteric tradition rather than, clinical science.
Go on.
So in many energetic and yogic traditions, liquids, especially water and natural oils, are viewed as highly programmable substances.
Programmable, like you can encode them with energy.
Exactly. The foundational idea is that creating the drops during specific planetary alignments or while chanting specific mantras imprints the physical substance with a specific frequency.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, the Conscious Living Solutions documentation just does not see a boundary between the physical peppermint oil and these energetic modalities. They're one and the same to them.
And because they time the manufacturing with the stars, availability is naturally limited. Like you actually have to reserve a bottle before the celestial window closes.
Yep. It creates this built-in scarcity model, but rooted in astrology.
It is fascinating how they can discuss the gastrointestinal tract in one paragraph and then timing production with astrology in the very next. It feels like reading a medical journal that suddenly turns into an ancient grimoire.
What's fascinating here is how seamlessly they weave these two narratives together without viewing them as contradictory in the slightest.
Right. They don't see the tension there at all.
Not at all. Conscious Living Solutions is making a deliberate choice not to just sell a stimulant to help a user power through their email inbox. They're selling a holistic energy alignment.
Okay, that phrase, energy alignment, brings us to something specific they mentioned. The documentation says the drops utilize a secret formula, specifically designed for boosting the pranamaya kosha.
Yes, the pranamaya kosha, we definitely need to unpack that.
Please do, because I have no idea what a kosha is.
So in ancient yogic philosophy, a human being is said to be made up of 5 distinct sheaths, or koshas.
Like layers of an onion.
Exactly like that. The physical body, the flesh and bone, is just the outermost layer. The pranamaya kosha is the second layer. It's the energy body, or the vital life force sheath.
Oh, I see.
It's the layer of breath and subtle energy. So by claiming to target this specific layer, the company is treating fatigue not as a chemical deficit in the brain, but as an energetic blockage in the aura.
Looking at the broader scope of the company itself, this context makes total sense, though.
It really does.
Because if you browse the other services conscious living solutions offers on their platform, they are clearly not a traditional supplement manufacturer.
Far from it.
They offer conscious divinations, pilgrimages, holistic healing courses, and they even operate a Vanaprastha ashram.
Right. So this little 15-second sublingual drop is essentially a physical, consumable manifestation of their entire spiritual worldview.
They're taking thousands of years of Eastern spiritual philosophy, distilling it down, and packaging it into a sleek, modern delivery mechanism.
Precisely.
But if this product is truly a collision of esoteric mysticism and boardroom biohacking, I have to imagine the customer base is just as contradictory.
Oh, you would think so, yeah.
Like, who actually buys a product that promises both high-octane corporate focus and Himalayan energy alignment?
Well, the demographic data provided in the materials is actually highly illuminating, especially when you factor in the price point.
Right. How much does this Celestial Express train actually cost?
A single bottle of Drops of Consciousness costs 2,110 rupees.
Okay, that's not cheap for a tiny bottle of drop.
It's definitely premium. That covers 60 servings, which they frame as a standard 1-month supply if utilized daily. And the featured success stories are exclusively centered in and around Bangalore.
Which makes perfect sense. Bangalore is arguably the most perfect backdrop on Earth for a product like this.
It really is the ultimate testing ground for this specific niche.
It's the Silicon Valley of India. It's a massive, hyper-competitive tech hub that is simultaneously deeply rooted in centuries of spiritual tradition.
Absolutely.
It is a city where a person might literally write code for an artificial intelligence startup in the morning and then visit an ancient temple for a blessing in the afternoon.
And the customer profiles they highlight reflect that exact cultural duality.
Oh, like who?
Well, take Priya S., for example. She's a tech entrepreneur operating out of Koramangala.
Okay, and for context for you listening,
Yeah.
Koramangala is a neighborhood famous for its intense, high-stakes startup culture. It's bustling.
Highly competitive. Priya explicitly states that the drops help her stay sharp and focused during critical investor meetings. She literally refers to the product as a game changer for entrepreneurs.
So for Priya, the drops are pure performance enhancement.
Exactly.
She is using them as a tool for capital generation and cognitive focus.
Yeah.
She just needs to close a deal without losing her train of thought.
Right, but then you contrast Priya with their second featured testimonial. Anand M., a yoga teacher based in Jayanagar.
A completely different vibe from a tech startup.
Entirely. Anand isn't pitching venture capitalists. He uses the drops to reach incredible depths in his Shambhavi Mahamudra meditation.
Okay, wait. Shambhavi Mahamudra, what exactly is that?
It's an ancient, highly involved yogic practice. It uses breath work and specific focal points to profoundly alter the practitioner's state of mind.
And he's using the drops for that.
Yes. Anand describes the consciousness expansion provided by the drops as remarkable.
Wow. Okay, so we have the tech CEO and the deeply spiritual yogi. Is there a middle ground?
There is. Then we have a third, entirely distinct persona in Rahul K., an engineering student studying in Electronic City.
Ah, the classic exhausted student demographic.
Exactly. His use case isn't about closing deals or achieving spiritual enlightenment. It is purely about practical survival.
You may guess. All-nighters.
You know it. He states the drops are more effective than 3 cups of coffee for enduring long study sessions and exam prep, noting that they completely eliminate the physical jitters.
Which is huge when you're just trying to focus on a textbook.
Yeah.
The unifying theme here among the tech founder, the yogi, and the engineering student is really the search for what the brand calls stress resilience and calm confidence.
That's the core of it, yes.
It is the pursuit of the ability to handle whatever immense pressure you are under without your nervous system completely fraying and breaking down.
Exactly. It is acting almost like an API, a universal adapter that plugs seamlessly into whatever mental operating system the user needs to run at that exact moment.
I love that analogy. Need to breathe deeper and lower your heart rate. It claims to do that. Need to impress a board of directors with razor-sharp wit. It claims to do that too.
It's incredibly versatile in its marketing.
Yeah, and because the drops also freshen breath, they actively market it as a networking tool, a pre-workout supplement, and a meditation aid, literally all at the same time.
But, any substance acting as a universal brain adapter requires a very careful look at the fine print.
Oh, for sure. You cannot just bypass the liver and shoot a concentrated substance directly into the bloodstream without establishing some biological guardrail.
You really can't. And biological reality applies universally, regardless of how spiritually aligned, handcrafted, or natural a product claims to be.
Your body still has to process it. So what are the actual limits they set?
The documentation sets very clear usage limits, a strict maximum of 3 servings per day.
Okay, so you can't just be taking drops every 20 minutes. They also list standard safety warnings, right?
Yeah.
Like, the product is not recommended for pregnant or nursing women, nor is it recommended for children under the age of 12.
Right. And this raises an important question, or rather, it highlights a pretty dangerous and pervasive misconception within the modern wellness space.
Which is?
There is this persistent idea that if something is marketed as 100% natural, vegan, and enhanced with esoteric energy like Reiki, it must operate purely on an ethereal or spiritual level.
Oh, I see what you mean. People assume natural means it couldn't possibly interact with, like, physical medicine or real biology.
Exactly. But the source material includes a very specific medical caveat that completely shatters that assumption.
What's the caveat?
They explicitly warn that users must consult a healthcare provider prior to use if they are taking blood thinners or dealing with existing medical conditions.
Blood thinners. Wow, okay. That is a very real medical interaction.
It is. When utilizing a sublingual delivery system, a person is dealing with highly concentrated active compounds.
Even if it's just peppermint oil.
Yes, even if those compounds are simply food-grade peppermint oil or natural botanical extracts, they can still act as mild vasodilators or affect blood viscosity.
That makes total sense when you actually think about it.
The blood thinner warning is a stark reminder of physical chemistry. A product handcrafted under the stars is still a physical substance binding to biological receptors in a physical body.
Right. It is a necessary reminder to approach even the most holistic, miracle-sounding wellness hacks with a critical, scientifically informed eye. The
Absolutely.
express train goes both ways, doesn't it? If an ingredient is potent enough to physically alter your mental clarity in just 15 seconds by bypassing your digestive tract, it is absolutely potent enough to interact with cardiovascular medication.
That's a great way to put it. The line between food, supplement, and medicine blurs significantly when you alter the delivery mechanism to be that efficient.
So what does this all mean? We're looking at a sleek little dropper bottle designed to fit perfectly into the pocket of a busy professional.
Right.
It's minty, it works fast, and it leaves no bitter aftertaste. It promises a daily ritual of clean, immediate energy. But it remains a highly potent substance that demands respect, both for its physical ingredients and, well, if you buy into their philosophy, its energetic footprint.
It perfectly encapsulates the modern desire to hack our way out of the very stress our modern lifestyles create in the first place.
It really does. Today we've explored how Drops of Consciousness attempts to tackle the very real, very exhausting problem of modern mental fatigue.
And they're doing it in such a unique way.
Yeah, they are doing it by engineering a wild collision between 15-second sublingual science and the esoteric world of crystals, Reiki, and celestial alignments.
It's quite the combination.
We've seen how bypassing the stomach promises up to 95% bioavailability, and how that mechanism is being utilized by everyone, from stressed-out tech founders to deep-practicing yogis looking for an edge.
It spans the whole spectrum.
So I want to turn this back to you listening. Think about the wall of fog you inevitably hit in the middle of a stressful workday, and the rituals you currently rely on to fight your way through it.
We all have them.
Is it that sugary snack? The extra espresso that makes your hands shake? How far would you explore, or what unique avenues would you consider to find a cleaner, faster mental reset?
And as you evaluate your own daily grind, I will leave you with this final thought to mull over. Consider their specific claim of using a secret formula to boost the pranamaya kosha, that ancient concept of the body's vital energy sheath.
Right.
If our hyper-modern, high-pressure, screen-addicted pursuit of relentless productivity is ultimately driving us back to ancient Eastern concepts of energy and breath, are we actually inventing new solutions to modern problems? Or are we simply repackaging thousands of years of profound human wisdom into a convenient, minty 15-second drop, just so we can survive the modern world?